Well, hello everyone, I'm Favidi. Welcome you to a new episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time, we finished up our investigation, and we came down here in order to start the trial. Today, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about your skills. So far, we've only unlocked two of them. First of all, Robot Jock increases your true bullet rate of fire, effective during the non-stop debate and the bullet time battle final strike. Let's get that, and the melodious voice. We have a 9 SP, so it shouldn't really be all that detrimental to us. We have some of that to spare. So now let's go back. Just so you remembered, we have our true bullets over here from our investigation. We've got the Monokuma file, evidence of the struggle, replica sword's chief, switching rooms, toolkit, Makoto's room cleaner, Seika's restart message, better remote frame, doorknob, dorm name plates, kitchen F set, autos account, trash duty incinerator, burnt shirt piece, and the shattered crystal ball. We have 18 pieces in total. And now that we've got all that, we should finish off the preparations and start off the trial. Alright! Let's do it, guys. We're starting off.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Of course.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
We're done for.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. And the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Very weird rule
And the
sets.
killer really is one of us, right?
It has to be Makoto.
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Taka.
Don't be a goddamn idiot.
Thank you.
Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Thank you, Mondo.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Don't even start, Fumi.
But what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Were you expecting someone else, Monokuma?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started.
So you would be
First
able
up
to
is
come
the case
up here as
summary.
well and participate
Now,
with us, maybe?
Let the class trial begin.
Alright, though. Yep, that's true. Let's go, Makoto. Now, guys, this is the class trial. Pretty much every single line of text except for Makoto's inner thoughts and narrator man over here are actually voice acted. So for this one time, I will say absolutely to tutorial man narrator. So as things engage during each case entirely, we'll engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your true bullets to refute what they say. So basically, it is an action counterpart to Phoenix Wright, basically, if you've ever played Phoenix Wright. So we aim and shoot. We have to blast the right ones. And if time runs out, we automatically fail. We can check the controls with the escape key, which is very close to my hand, but that's the gist of it. So let's do it, guys. We got only one, evidence of struggle. I did fail to mention this before, but I am playing on mean difficulty and mean difficulty for both of these things.
The
So
one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka
we already know that, Taka.
Yeah, we know that part.
Yeah, exactly.
And the murder took place in Makoto.
That is also true.
In the bathroom.
Yes.
So it seems most likely
Yes.
that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom.
Okay. Yes, that is true.
She didn't even have a chance to
Except
see
there's
it.
evidence of a struggle.
No, he's wrong.
And that's pretty much the gist of it. You just have to look for contradictions and search for the correct truth bullet. This was the easiest one because it's the tutorial.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
And yes, there is going to be over-exposition in this part, so I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's the way the game works. That's the way the series works. But you have to pay attention to all this most of the time.
Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
Who else, Chihiro?
So you're saying
Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
Well, I mean, no, I don't think
She
so.
must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
Yes.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need
Yeah, but
explaining.
Shira didn't look at the scene.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so what's next?
Well,
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
true. But we know that.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
It is, however, a real trial. It just so happens that it is among people in the same class, which is why it's called a class trial. Our argument with the kitchen knife set, which is the only thing that we have, and the only thing that we need to know for this specific part. Now, before that,
Used to kill her.
let me see the controls real quick, because fast forward and concentrate. There you go. That's everything I needed to go. That's everything I needed to know. You can do that.
Some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
Yes, I don't
So
disagree.
the killer used some random
Not
knife.
some random knife though, Mondo.
No, that's wrong.
Exactly, that's wrong. You can concentrate to try to shoot more accurately. That is something also that the tutorial man did not
I do think
mention.
it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Yep.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
Yeah, a kitchen knife,
After
you
the
know,
murder,
the ones that
we
are
discovered that
in the
one of the
kitchen and
knives
that
from
you
the
use
kitchen was
in the
missing.
kitchen for kitchen stuff. Like cooking.
Which means
Or killing
that
people.
knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Exactly.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen
You don't
knife.
even have to look close.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
I don't know. Where does that
I
get us?
mean, we all know Makoto killed
Okay,
him,
now you're starting to spout nonsense. That is not true.
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime.
Yes.
What more proof do you need?
The fact that it wasn't me,
right? Hold on a second.
I'm innocent. Just say it,
Let's
Makoto.
draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments.
Thank you, Kyoko.
Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Thank you.
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
Oh, I think you're gonna be surprised.
I don't think that's true at
Thank
all.
you, Kyoko.
I'm sure
Again.
if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
I believe it as well. It has to be. Exactly. Let's do it, Makoto. Exactly. We know damn well that we're not the killers. Okay, fine. Absolutely. Tell it to me, tutorial man. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Concentrating will slow down time. And we can steady our aim. So that's that. Concentrating consumes a focus gauge, and that means that we will need to make the focus gauge larger for the trials that will come later, but for now, there's absolutely no problem whatsoever. So, get this music up and let's make our arguments, shall we? We have hours to count. And let's begin.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Well, no, there's no question about
Where
that.
does that get us?
Somewhere?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen.
No.
He did it in secret. Nobody was in the dining
Sure.
hall. And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with
Yeah,
it.
sure, that's what I
So he
did.
really did do it.
Yes, and it's been decided.
No.
We've reached the end.
You haven't, though. Now, up to this point, there has only been one weak spot and one bullet. That will change in time, but for now, as you can see, there was only
so I guess
one.
There's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Yeah, okay.
But where does that
And of
get
course,
us?
this is also to show that everything repeats after you get to the end. It repeats up until the time runs out, so... I have Aoi on my side, though, Toko, so take that and shut up!
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
That is absolutely 100% clear.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you
I
want.
will say it all I want, because it's true.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Yeah, you were in the kitchen.
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Yes, and then all the knives were still there. Exactly, yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
Of course not.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think
Oh,
so?
come on.
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The
Thank
knife
you, Aoi.
disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Exactly. So it has to have been another person.
Okay, then what about this?
Yes.
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect
But
each other?
why would she do that?
Idiot swimmer girl!
Also that.
Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer.
Just get to the point, Monokuma.
Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Exactly.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
Well, you don't know that yet. But this time, no.
What if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Yeah, so far that would have been...
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
Thank you, Monokuma.
Did I say that out loud?
Just a little bit.
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife.
It's the truth.
So I'm not the killer.
I would have to believe you.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining
And there was
hall.
nobody else.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
Oh.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was
Then
drinking
why
my
didn't
tea.
you say so?
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Haven't you even talked to her a little, like, ever since we got
But
here?
then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Yeah, but...
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it
Thank
out
you, Mondo.
already.
I stayed in Hina's room last
Oh.
night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over.
Well, at least she kept you
Which
company.
means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school
No,
regulations?
it says that you have to sleep on the
We're
dorms.
not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned
Yeah, exactly.
room.
It's a loophole.
So, I don't think
Well,
that's
actually, it's not even a
problem.
loophole, it's just not prohibited.
Problem. A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's
Except Sakura's a girl.
But I'm
Thank
a
you,
girl.
Sakura.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Why else would she be called Sakura? I don't know if there's any guys named Sakura out there.
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person.
Oh, I'm sorry about
Why
that. I
didn't you
didn't
say
mean
so
it.
in the first place.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
That means it's one of the people that are dead.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
It was Sayaka. And of course, logically, the person who took it had to be Sayaka.
Then, Sayaka is the one who
Unfortunately,
took the knife?
that seems to be the case.
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen.
Okay.
As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. but most likely...
The person who took the knife was the victim herself.
But then...
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Well, that's what she had us believe.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
Yes.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Drat. I shot myself in the foot.
See? He did do it.
It wasn't me!
No!
I did shoot myself in the foot, but it was not me.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong
Don't even
direction.
start, Hifumi.
You possess a most terrifying
Don't
talent.
even. No, they don't, Makoto, which is why we have to convince them.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is
Thank
the killer.
goodness for someone that makes sense here. Thank you, Kyoko.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering.
Yes, you're right.
And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
That's true.
Bewildering? What the hell are you
It is a
talking
word,
about?
Mondo, saying that it is perplexing.
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
Yeah. Hair.
You know what I'm
Yes,
talking
exactly.
about, don't
There
you?
wasn't even a lick of hair. Hangman's Gambit is about to begin, so absolutely tell me all about it, Tutorial Man. As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim. Press the left button mouse to shoot the desired letters. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If the gauge reaches 0, you will fail. Alright! Do it before the time runs out. Good luck! This one is easy because they actually told us this before coming over here. This minigame gets extremely hard later on. We have... Oh my god, that was close. Okay... Hair! Hair was missing.
Now
Of course you do. That's what we are here for. To make you understand, Makoto.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on
Yeah.
the floor.
So, the culprit removed some
But why
evidence?
would I?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
True.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had.
But then why would I leave the body there?
That makes sense.
No, not really.
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not
Exactly.
just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
So we know it was not me.
Wait, then that
Yes.
means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one
Thank
and
you,
the same.
Kyoko. Again.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
That's exactly what I've been saying,
Sure,
Chihiro,
we
and
decide something so important based solely on the absence
Yes,
of some
I-
hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have
but
done
also yes, Taka.
I would like to hear those
Alright,
reasons.
then Kyoko, give it to them.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Yeah.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and
Except it
stabbed
wasn't
her.
really all that easy.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any
Of course it
trouble
did.
with it?
They broke the doorknob.
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
Not just some trouble, like all the troubles.
There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember?
I do
Makoto?
remember. Yep, because we had the doorknob. There we go.
evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob,
Yes,
right?
that is what we said.
Huh? The doorknob?
The doorknob on the
doorknob
floor,
from our
I mean on
bathroom.
the door.
It was completely broken.
Yes.
See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready
But of
to
course, in
fall
order to
off?
unscrew screws, you'll need a screwdriver to unscrew the screws that are screwed.
But what does it
So
mean?
you were screwed.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire
Exactly.
doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
Thank you, Kyoko.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his
Yeah.
own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing
I
bewildering
mean, sure,
about
if you need to go, you go, but that's not the
still don't
case.
see?
My room should
Okay,
not have
then.
had a lock in the bathroom.
Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help
Hopefully.
you understand.
Alright, tutorial man, let's say absolutely. Exactly, weak spots are gonna be more prominent. There's just one lie or contradiction, so... Exactly, from this point on, we will have to do it. Exactly. If the influence gauge reaches 0, we fail, and we die. So, do it before the time runs out, and good luck! Arguments to be made. We have only the bathroom door frame, so we'll have to look for the contradiction that actually speaks about the door frame.
The incident took place in the
Exactly.
killer's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the
Which
main
is
room.
true.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Also true.
it. Then the killer ran after
Yes, I agree.
her, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down
Not
the door.
true.
Because Sayaka
Not
locked it.
true.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
Yes.
To finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto?
No, it wasn't me.
We already know
It wasn't
the
me.
answer.
Yes. The bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran and they got into the back. At that
Bust down the door.
killer had to try and because
Exactly what is wrong. Sayaka could not lock it because there was no lock. Boys' bathroom for some reason don't have locks on them.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked.
Exactly.
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms,
True.
right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
That is just one piece of convenient things that have been put into the school.
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
It was stuck.
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right.
Yep.
Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a
It's proving to be quite lucky, though.
That's not
It is,
lucky
because
at
it's helping
all.
me,
So the reason
you know,
the door didn't open
prove
was
my
just
innocence.
because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get
Yes.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Because they didn't know it was my room.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
True.
in. The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Yep. The crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was
Exactly.
my room.
Because they thought it was Sayaka's room.
Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he
True.
was? That's inconceivable.
And given that girls' rooms do seem to look a little bit different, I would say that they are man.
Well, Well, to be more
because they didn't know that the girls' rooms, what the girls' rooms looked like.
What the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break
Exactly.
through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions
In
were.
truth,
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
yeah, I agree.
Regardless,
Wholeheartedly.
it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening.
Exactly, Makoto.
Right?
Now you're catching on.
That is a definite
No, it's 100% what happened.
The killer would have to be
Or rather,
someone
what
who
not
didn't
happened.
know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done
Exactly, Toko. Thank you.
Okay, then who did do
Yeah,
it?
that's right. We're here to determine that.
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without
Don't even start to
saving.
fool me.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now?
But we don't
Majority
have like a suspect.
Majority rules? You really think
Maybe
that's a
two
good
people will
idea?
vote for the same person, and that person is not it.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do
If I didn't know better, I would vote for Yasuhiro.
serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions?
Just
It does not
because.
matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Give it away.
Oh.
Wow.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
Rude.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your
Yeah,
question.
please.
Oh yeah. Okay, so...
Just ask.
Well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Well,
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's
it
possible,
could
right?
be possible, except for the fact that she was already
I don't think
inside the
so.
room and
Seems
didn't
way too
leave,
convenient.
supposedly.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
I cannot attest to that personally, but he did say
How
it.
about this? The killer got in the
Which
easy
is?
way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just...
Actually, that is the most plausible, but
that
no.
can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue
Don't even
against
start to fool
me?
me.
Sounds like someone doesn't know
Don't
his
even start.
place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Yeah, we do have the answer. Because... yeah. Except I don't think it was that. Or rather, was it? Yeah, it has to have been, because all this... Switching rooms. It would have been pointless.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared,
Yeah.
remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first
Exactly,
place.
so it would have been 100% completely most pointless. And she did promise not to open, not even for me.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
So that's a no-go, Hifumi.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something
I mean,
like
Makoto,
that?
come on. Wouldn't anyone here lie
I know
about
you
it
don't
just to
want
kill
consider
someone?
it, But look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Oh no.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a
Oh, no.
pencil. And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective
You watch a lot of
shows.
TV Yaoi?
When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words.
Which means you have to write
When I saw that, I was like,
without putting a
"Holy
lot of pressure on it
I
if
better
you don't
make
want
sure I
yourself
rip the paper
convicted.
out before I use it from now
Or
on."
just rip the paper. You're right, Hina.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful
Of course.
sometimes.
I mean, they're classics for a reason.
And I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
So she did that after
Which
switching.
means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have
The only
written it.
person in there would have been Sayaka.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you?
Of course
like
not.
this? No, I didn't. But of course you didn't, because the note also bears
Yeah,
a
it's right there in the
perfectly
note.
legible signature, Sayaka's signature.
Danganronpa.